Okay, it's about 11 o'clock on Saturday now, and I've had my lunch, got my little go-go drink, and we are out in the backside of the barn. This is going to be some new territory for a lot of people, but this is what we're going to be working on next, project-wise. So I'm going to take you around so you can see a little bit better what we got going on here. So when the structure was first built, it's just the steel structure and the roof. That was all that was here. Everything else I've added and built in over time for Ange to be able to do her kidding, breeding, and all that jazz out here. So turn the lights on a little bit, see if it makes it any better. So basically there was no siding, no walls, no individual pens, none of this stuff. It was all, I built all of these out of 2x6 and paneling for like hogs and whatnot, and then ordered tin and built all the framing to attach said tin. So just because it's easier to see in this corner what we're going to do, down here on the bottom, this is pressure sheet 2x4 on the bottom. We're going to do a 2x4 there, and we're going to do all the wood framing all the way around this opening like I did here, but we're going to do that on this open pen here. And the reason why we left this open to begin with was this was going to be hay storage, because at the time Ange only had 8 goats. No, 5. No, she only had 3, which quickly turned to 12 and then exploded. And now this isn't used for hay storage, and we had a whole bunch of temporary stuff and gates and all kinds of weird fabric cobbled stuff blocking this area off. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it a permanent wall. Let me put you back on the tripod. There we go. We're going to make this back into a permanent wall. I'm going to frame in all the skeletal structures of it, and then we'll put the tin on and seal it all up. That way it's a done deal. So this can be used as another one of the presidential suites for when she starts kidding. And during the winter, it'll be a nice, it'll seal everything up nice. It'll cut the wind out. And the other thing is that I'd like to do for her, this may not happen this go around, tilt. There we go. You see these gable openings here. I have a 2x4 or 2x6 across here to hang up screens, so wind can still go through. And in the winter, a canvas one will go up here to stop the wind from going through. But there's no windbreak here. So what I want to do is I want to seal that up with some T111 siding that I have left over from the shop rebuild, and close that up so there's not a whole bunch of air ripping through there, because it sucks the heat right out of this place when it happens. But yeah, so today is going to be framing, and we'll see how far we get. It's been a while since I've done this, so I've got to refigure out all my angles, because these are not straight cuts, as you can see. There's, you know, supports and stuff I've got to work around, like this guy here, and then this angle up at the top. And of course, I'm going through wood into steel, so I have to use metal screws, but I got to pre-drill, and I got to cut the wood or rip the wood down to length. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So, oh, I got to dig that out of there too. I got wire hanging out of it. So yeah, we'll set the time lapse up. We'll get to measuring, get to cutting, and get to going. All right, here we go. 3:30, I'm done. I got a lot more done than I expected to. As you saw in the time lapse, I got the whole dang wall up. I only expected to get the framing done, but here she is, 100%. So that's a done project. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, there's some holes in it still, and I'll take you on the inside. It'll be easier to see with the daylight coming through. But this is, of course, recycled tin or leftover tin from when I did the roof on my new building. But you'll see there's holes. And what we'll do is we'll put tape on the outside and then put a dollop of silicone on the inside here so it seals these guys right up. And yeah, I'm sure all the does will appreciate the wind block when the snow comes. So that's a project I kept putting off and putting off and putting off, but now it's done. So I can't put it off anymore. The next one for the barn is going to be these gable ends here, sealing those up. And I'll do that with T111 siding that I have left over, again, from the shop build. Nothing was left over. It all had a purpose when I purchased it. So more projects means more projects means more projects. I've got a bed full of junk that I need to go take back over to the shop area and dump out, put my toys away, go inside, get some dinner, put my feet up, and relax. I also need to take a daggone shower because holy smokes, it was hot today. So there you go. Barn is barned. On to the next project. We'll see ya.